Dr. Girdhar Gyani, who is the Director General of AHPI, was the previous Secretary General of Quality Council of India and the CEO of NABH. But in one word, I can say he is the father, the quality of in the country. Whenever the history of quality will be written, his name will be written in golden letters. He was the first recipient of our CAHO Lifetime Achievement Award. So over to you, Dr. Girdhar Gyani. I would like you to see, sir, because I think it's a beautiful blueprint. I want you to highlight as to what can derail it.
You have already said, actually. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay and Som. I will just show 3 slides, just to highlight what you wanted me to, say. And let us see, this one. So, this is what you were describing. This scheme is going to be the game changer, in that there is no doubt. Like PMJY, which is also a game changer. Only problem is that these game changers in this country of 120 billion people, 1.2 billion people, is going to take time. Now, whether it will be 2 years, what Indu Bhushan was saying, actually, I'll be very happy if he can achieve this in the next couple of years. But this is a gigantic work, and it will take time. So the issue here is what you are saying, that how do you, build the superstructure? Now, the foundation, unfortunately, is not very strong. In front of us is the small slide to show you that we have 1.3 beds per 1,000 population. That means we need still 2.5 times more beds in the hospital in the country. Very, very poor accessibility in tier 3 cities. Very poor, extremely poor, I will say. Doctor shortage, specialist shortage, nurses shortage. And on top of it, I am very sorry to say, unstructured allied healthcare workforce. This allied healthcare professional bill is unfortunately pending in the parliament, without which we will not be able to create, that qualified bunch of the healthcare workforce. Poor compliances on the regulation and quality, and that also reflects on our score of 145 out of 195 nation, okay? Now, what Dr. Indu Bhushan is saying, if you speak to a common man who knows about something about the NDHM, his quick answer is, yeah, NDHM, I want the healthcare will become affordable by this. That is his first reaction. Second reaction is he is really so much worried, perturbed the way he is going through the hospital, one department, another department, refer to another diagnostic center. He is really getting lost. So he expects this NDHM will solve the problem and the services will become seamless. Patient safety, now actually we have been talking, thanks to CAHO, this patient safety is becoming the buzzword, and common man has started understanding. He started understanding that medical errors are happening. Now this is what the expectation is, that medical errors will be low and low. Vastly improved accessibility, actually that is of course one of the aim. Healthcare records can be accessed from anywhere. And last point, as I said, should prove to be the game changer. You see, the issue here is that because of this shortage which I showed, you can't build this shortage in next 10 years, let me say. But maybe that is the whole purpose of NDHM, that this shortage can be compensated by making the healthcare digital. So this is one. But the kind of design which NDHM has been incorporated is mind-boggling. It is going to cover policymakers, providers, allied private entities, healthcare professionals, non-profit organizations, and administrators. It is very beautifully designed, system, and everybody is going to be part of it. So this is what actually is the positive side. Now let me come about so one obstacle is that basic healthcare needs are to be also built. So while we work on NDHM, somewhere parallelly, Ministry of Health, along with the state government, has to keep on pushing the building of the hospital in tier 3 city, pushing up the number of the specialists, and all those things which I showed in that slide number 1. Now, which are the barriers? Now, I understood when this actually discussion was happening that health ID will be neither unique nor mandatory. Of course, I know it is not going to be mandatory, but is it not going to be unique? Actually, let Indu Bhushan reply after this one, because I would love to see that ID must be unique. Another my worry, having worked in government for now more than 35 years, I would have loved to see this national, NHA, National Health Authority, should have become the statutory body. I think the kind of mandate which has been given to it, and it can roll out the program only when it has got that kind of autonomy. Unfortunately, I don't know why it was not built into the design. Let Dr. Indu Bhushan reply on that. And my other point is that health still remains a state subject. It is good in a way, bad also in a way. Because every time I find very good things come from center, the states will keep on talking in their own way and they will try to see that, okay, the rules will apply in a different way. The other barrier which I am seeing is, one is the lack of digital literacy. But again, I am a very optimistic person. As NDHM rolls out, literacy also will keep on improving. The internet or the mobile is with the 70%, but the broadband penetration is less than 10%. And with the speed requirement of 2 Mbps, which is not available in most of the state region, I suppose offline version is also being worked out. I think I have confirmed this is being done. Because without offline, this kind of speed will not be available in many parts. Government hospital and dispensary has very, very little ICT infrastructure. This is going to be another roadblock. Roadblock means it will take time unnecessarily. Then, of course, EMR implementation will be based on the International Classification of Diseases, ICD, which also will be a little bit of challenge. Involvement of private sector, it will be the key. And again, I am very sorry to say, with my past background in government and now in the private sector, I think this is not happening the way it should have happened. The private sector has got a lot of strength. 90% of tertiary care is being handled by the private sector, but I think they are not involved in the policy making and the real spirit of the public-private partnership. So these are some of my, concern, which hopefully I think Dr. Indu Bhushan will reply later on. Of course, the success story, I'm told 2 other speakers are going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think I will close at this point of time. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay Purwa.
Thank you, Dr. Gyani.